Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real. Real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all hosts, Sujay.
I was dancing to the music. Hey guys, it is Jay and this is Aspire Podcast. We got a great guest tonight, I guess. It's nighttime, right?
It's
nighttime.
It's nighttime.
I'm gonna need you to introduce yourself.
I'm Big June in the house from the BX.
No, we not. No, let's rewind. Hold on. Rewind, guys.
All right.
Cannot Big June nobody, please.
I'm June.
Yes.
From New York, born and raised in the Bronx.
You could tell by the accent.
Yeah, I know, right?
I knew you were from the Bronx the minute you said, I can't. The minute you were like, come back to the back of the van.
Showing the models.
I will tell a story, but I need you showing the models. I can't. Tell everybody about yourself a little bit, your background a little bit.
Well,
who is June from the Bronx?
Who is June? That's real interesting. So June, it's born and raised from the Bronx, and I've been doing miniature creation for many years, okay. And I've been doing artwork. Started doing artwork from Chiquito, man.
When you were young? I'm really Chiquito from the Latinos, but
yeah. I mean, I went to the High School of Art and Design, so you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to the High School of Art and Design, and that's what kept me there. So when I left, probably in 89, 90.
Don't age yourself, June. Don't age yourself,
I know,
June.
man, but I have to throw it in because I still look good for it anyway.
Oh,
you gotta throw it in. Come on, stop it. So I left like 89 or 90 when I arrived to Florida, but it was like I was missing New York. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I decided to come to Florida, and then when I got to Florida, man, it just decided to do miniatures and creation, and then I made the Bronx. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's
Yes.
Yes,
I have.
That
brings me back because even though I'm not born and raised in the Bronx, I went every weekend or sometimes a whole summer and stayed in the Bronx. My dad's side of the family is from the Bronx.
So I recreate that image.
You brought it to Florida.
I brought it to Florida.
What made you, even before high school, right? So what made you go to that kind of high school?
Art. I was always been an artist.
From baby.
Okay.
Were your parents supportive in that kind of stuff?
Of course, my mother.
Okay, so one parent household?
Yes.
Okay, so Mama Duke say, hey,
Mama.
Mama
Duke's love her too much. That's how they send me. That's her.
She's watching. Hey.
She's watching, but yes.
Okay.
Mommy supported me a lot,
Were you had siblings?
Huh?
You had siblings?
I am. I'm twin actually with a girl.
You're a twin?
I am a twin.
How do I not know this? See? Live on international TV. You're a twin.
It's
okay, so it's just you two?
No, it's four of us.
Oh, I'm a four. Yeah. There was four. Well, one passed, but okay. Two girls, two boys?
2 boys, 2 girls.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Because 2 boys, 2 girls.
But I'm twin with a female.
Oh, get closer to the mic. Listen, we got to listen to my boss. My boss said. Okay?
It's the mic.
Yeah. So from baby, you were like all artistic. Your mom supported you. Yeah. Did you have to like apply to the school? I don't know how that works.
Actually, that went from junior high school. From junior high school, I did lo que se llama as a portfolio with sketches. And, we had to draw an apple and draw a person, and it was like a prep.
Okay.
And I had to prep this big folio they had back in the days. It was like one of those carriers.
Don't they still do that?
Yeah, they still do that.
Portfolios where you gotta.
And then I actually won that, and from there they accept me, and I went in there. I mean, art has always been.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were gonna do art whether you got into the school or not. I get it.
Right.
And then what made you move to Florida? I'm gonna need you to answer that.
I just wanted to see something, different. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be more. I got more mature. I wanted to just take off and says, what life brings me ahead of me. You know what I'm saying?
You came to Orlando straight?
I came.
There was like 3 people here.
Oh my
In,
God,
in,
man.
in 1990, I moved here in 95. So there was like 3 people in Orlando at that time now.
You know, I came on 1990 with, I didn't even hesitate. I just said, you know what?
Really?
It's time for me to go. And talking about that back then, the way I'm thinking now, when I says I gotta leave because I want a future for me, I can say I accomplished that. Good job, Junior. You know why? Because now 1990 was in the past. We're at 2025. But
Don't be aging us.
I'm sorry, but it's the reality.
Because
okay?
that's literally 25. Oh, no, that's 35 years.
It's yeah, it's
Woo,
35 years.
estamos
But
viejos.
we are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's all
But
right. I own it.
it's, you know, it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It was a struggle when I got here.
Was it a struggle? Because you came alone?
See?
And damn. I mean, I came with my family. I was still a kid, pretty much. So you came as a grown-ass man.
I came as a grown man ready to just do me.
And what did you start doing when you first came to Florida?
I was doing airbrushing, and I can quite
Okay.
remember that yesterday. And I landed in one of these, I think it's Oak Ridge, right across the street from Florida MedTech. I think there was a school there.
Mid-Florida Tech. Yeah,
right.
yeah. They're
There was
still
a,
there. Yeah.
special. There was like a baseball for kids. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
and
it's still there, that area.
yeah, I think
this
it's still
area is
there.
not that far from here in the
Right.
studio. Yeah.
And I was looking at that, and I was doing sketches on a shirt. And coach came up to me that day and says, "Man, you know, you're a nice artist. You know, can you do some signage?"
Okay.
So I did some signage for him. So he bought the plywood, he bought the material. Esto a rolo and spray and got it to where he was actually promoting Subway back then. I think it was Pepsi.
Okay.
So
okay.
we did that, and it came out nice. Then that was not a career. I wanted to kind of go, you know, further than that. Then I got into the hospitality business, you know.
Before we even go that far, what is it about art that feeds you? Like, what part of it? Because I could tell you my part of why I do anything that I create. But what is it in you that it feeds? The little boy in you that needed X, Y, and Z, or just like a different? For everybody does art, whatever kind of art, whether you write, whether you paint, whether you draw, whether you do music, whether you do this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's always for a reason. So what's your reason behind it?
The reason is I love what I do, but I express myself through art. You know,
Okay.
everybody sings, write music,
that's-
and they do graffiti on it. Those guys, they're expressing themselves.
Of course, like anything.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you almost feel, in my opinion, it's like living a slow death. Like, if you don't express it in that way, right? It feels
Exactly.
like you're dying inside slowly for whatever reason, and I don't even know why, but it truly feels like. When I write my quotes, when I write my poetry, like sometimes I don't share it for no one to see. Like, it really is for me, but it's to express something, right?
Right.
Did you feel, this is a stupid, maybe not a stupid question, but did you feel like you were heard as a child?
no, actually no.
Like,
no.
you weren't heard, listened to. Like, you had to,
I was heard, you know, and everybody was supporting me. You know what I'm saying? It's,
even as a child?
yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
mine, I think I was so muted as a kid. Like, I felt like nobody really was listening to me. It was
Right.
I just got by life, right? So I created my own voice. I created a place where I can speak, right?
Right.
So what is the biggest thing that you get out of this?
I get at this here to put a smile in people's face, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Same. I get it. I do. I get it.
I'm
I truly do.
serious, man. I get that positive feedback from them. It was like, wow, I love this. Oh, you don't know, man. You know, this is where I used to live from. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me going.
So it's like to spread joy.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
That's very
I get it.
important. If you don't spread that.
Well, not everybody, some people don't give a crap if anybody sees their stuff. Sometimes people do it because they feel like they have to. Their body, their brain, their heart says,
Right.
like, I need to create something.
Right.
So you were like, what, close to 20, 21 when you came here?
Probably, yeah.
And he's only 30 now? Like,
See, I got 30, yeah.
but
Salud, yeah. Thank you for that.
I'd be lying on the show. from that, so why the hospitality? Because you said you jumped into hospitality. What was the point of that, or why? Is it something else that fed you?
If you look at it, I'm a people's man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those
I
who's
agree with that.
I'm outgoing. I like to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Different culture. You know what I'm saying? Where you from?
Culture.
You know? Yeah, it's what it is. I guess us New Yorkers, we have to find out more. You know what I'm saying? That's how
I'm a nosy person. And I call it nosy, but obviously I'm not nosy. But like, I can't say I know you unless I know you. Like, yes, I know of you. Okay, I know of June. But unless I know the person you are, like what fills you, I don't know why. It's something I have to find out about people.
Right.
If you're gonna be in my circle, if you're not gonna be in my circle, hi and bye. Yeah, okay. But if you're not gonna be in my circle, I don't need for that. But I will not call someone a friend just because I met you once. Right. That's not a friend.
But since you mentioned that on the circle, I'm a person that I've been too much in the circle, giving, but I'm very careful in that circle. I think about me first. Because
that's never my... Actually, it's crazy that you say that because that's not... I'm the opposite. So...
Okay.
And I don't think I'll change that because I just have changed who I give it to. So in my personal circle... I'm giving you my everything. My people are getting my everything because my personal circle, I know that it will be reciprocated. Right. My personal circle is small and special and beautiful, and I honestly, I protect it with everything. So if you don't fit in that circle or you're trying to destroy it in some way, bye. Right? And I've done that in this last year, like bye. But I'm okay with giving. I'm okay with doing more. Because that's who I am. Like, it would be a disservice to me to fake the funk. Like, I don't want to be something I'm not, right? But not everybody appreciates or wants it or understands it. So, I'm not for everyone, right? And I agree with you. You think that you're for everyone, or like it takes a certain taste for people? Like, you know?
I don't like to judge anybody.
Same.
I don't like that.
But it's okay to say that person may not be who I want to be around. Right. It's okay to say that. And it's okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like us. I mean, we parents, right? Yeah. We tell our kids, cuidado con esa persona. Watch with that person because he's no good for you, right? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, right? All the time. But then it comes out to be that person is bad. That's a parent. We know instantly, okay? Mm-hmm. Who's wrong. And I'm very careful who I be on my surroundings. I'm very limited. You know what I'm saying? Who's the person that stood out? And you don't have to say a name, but what is something that stands out, or a person that broke that trust for you, or that made you feel like you had to be careful and you thought you didn't? We always are wrong. No. We're always wrong about somebody. I lost a friendship for over 40 years. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Melissa, you are stuck to the day I die. I don't care. You're gonna be at my funeral laughing and joking. That's my sister, and it's been 25. It's gonna be another. And I'm not angry. Mm-hmm. I'm not disappointed. I still love him. You know what I'm saying? I still love him because it's where we come from. You know, from the culture. I'm not gonna carry hatred. It's not. I came a long way for that. Well, I've always been that way, where it's like I wish you the best, but I don't need to be in your life to wish you the best. Right. Now, if somebody reached out to me, like, hey, I need something, I need whatever, like, no matter what, where we left off, if somebody's struggling or somebody's in real, like, danger, pain, I'm not somebody, like, if you reach out to me, it's for a reason. Right. So I'm not that person. But protection of, not necessarily peace, but just negativity, and sometimes people don't know that they are sucking the life out of you in a way, or making you feel small. That feeling of feeling small is the worst, right? When it comes to your biggest supporters, shout them out for a little bit. Like, who's your biggest supporters, or someone that no matter what, day one you created this first thing and was like, yo, clapping for you? Because you don't get a lot of claps in this industry. No, I know that. I know that. I'm gonna say that my most big supporters, I'm gonna just say, is my mom's. That's it. I'm gonna start with that. You know why? Because my mom says,
Junjo, because she calls me Junjo.
Junjo.
She does.
I have a friend that
Junjo.
gets called that.
Do what you can, show what you're capable of doing, and move on.
Okay.
Focus on you.
What
know
does
what I'm
that mean to you? Like,
means a lot that, my own mom's is giving me, motivation. You know what I'm saying?
but when she says, I'm sorry to cut you off, but when she says, focus, do what you want and what you can do, but move on. What do those words, like, what does it translate for?
For me, that is anything is possible. You can do anything. Don't let no one tell you that you're not able to do anything. No, you are able to do anything. I'm serious. It's a motivation. But my brother out there, but no,
you're good.
Edgar, my true brother, that's
Edgar.
That's my man.
You're bringing me to the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm
because,
serious.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's my man.
know
El
Edgar.
manito mío, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Supporter, love him to death, man. Straight out from the heart, you know what I'm saying?
Edgar.
So
okay.
he's actually a big supporter on this. A very big supporter.
Do you think support is important in this kind of work?
Claro.
Okay. I didn't always have it. Like, I didn't always have support. That's why I'm asking you. Like,
No.
known days where,
Support,
it was me and my bestie, you know?
Support. If you get support, that means a person cares for you.
Absolutely.
And if you don't get
I
support,
always say we all could win. We all could win. I can support you.
Yeah.
And even if I started before you and you just that much better and got elevated, I'm still clapping because at the end of the day, we all genuinely could win. And your sauce is not my sauce. We got different sauce, but you elevated. Cool. Like, I want to get into a little bit of your miniatures.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it? And I want to know kind of why you created them and also how that helped you, because I feel like, and I told you this on the side and we talked about this, like, I feel like you create to heal.
Yeah.
And we all create to heal something, right? Whether it's ourselves or somebody else, right? We want that smile on someone's face.
Right.
But usually that smile on someone's face means a smile from you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Too. Because like when last week I got this message and it was just so sweet. And they were like all so excited about my show. And I was just like, you could tell that they were smiling in the message. So it's like everything for me. So we got a couple here. We're going to keep talking about a few.
Yes.
But show me, grab it, and tell me about it.
Let me start with this one. Actually,
start with
this
bad
one.
Boy.
Here, let me turn the light on, man. This is Ocean Gate. I know that everybody's like, wow, Ocean Gate. But when this took place, you know what I'm saying? I went into a depression. I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching the news, these people on the water.
Okay.
I was kind of like.
I was gonna ask you what made you create that, but it makes sense.
But I built it the day that they had 48 hours of oxygen.
I remember.
Right? And they lost contact, and that was it. My heart started racing. That's at 4 a.m. in the morning. I got up
So I watched it. I too was sad, but what made you feel like that?
It's a memory. It's like when you leave, those who's living continue to make that memory for you, because if you dead, I mean, you can't make your own memory.
Like legacy.
Yeah, you just can't. You have to make a legacy,
of course.
a stamp.
Yeah.
You have to.
Okay.
And this is what life is all about. Life is just remembering the good person and carry that name and continue. But to continue to share with you.
Making me emotional already.
Don't get emotional, girl.
I'm a big softie, whatever. That's just who I am. But I think because why I get emotional, because I care about that. Like, I care not necessarily that someone liked me or that I was loved. What I really care about is that if I get remembered, it's for a positive thing. Right? Because who wants to be remembered for being an asshole? And maybe you do, but I don't. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Yeah. So that's why I care. I genuinely care if people remember me and think positive.
Right.
Or think, why am I getting emotional? This is your damn show. But I do care if I leave something good behind.
Yeah.
And I don't want to leave scars in people. Like, I don't want to leave. Why am I getting emotional? I don't want to leave somebody messed up. You know what I mean?
Stop, okay? I know that,
But it's true.
It is, But, I mean, you get emotional. I probably would get emotional too, you know what I'm saying? Because this is just the beginning of the stuff. This artwork was just created in 5 years' time, less than 5 years' time, and something personal that happened back then. There's reasons in those artwork. I might just push people to cry on just in camera, but it's
because you're pushing me to cry.
but that is.
What do you think your emotion behind this was?
That was I felt sincere, right? Oh, all right, let me put it like this. A man that does not cry is not a man. Okay? I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay. A man
there's a woman, right?
Yeah, there's a woman. But a man that does not cry, he's cold-hearted. He doesn't have feeling for himself. That's sincere.
Do you think, because it's not man or woman, it's not just men, it's women too. Do you think that there's something broken within somebody that doesn't show emotion?
Yeah.
I agree with that statement 100%.
It is.
I'm a big softie, so yeah.
Yeah.
I just think why I even had you on my show, because I'm going to keep it real.
And I appreciate it.
Is because, like, I feel from different things, different people, if they're being genuine, if they're being not, or whatever. When I met you, I thought you were a serial killer. I'm going to tell that story in a second, but I did think you were a serial killer
at the commission,
so shout out.
The commissioner.
But,
to Benny Blanco.
Oh, gosh. But I did, once I saw your stuff and once we had the conversation for the very first time, and this was years ago, but I just felt like, okay, he's not doing things out of, I'm just creating this to get recognition. No. It was just something told me it was from the heart. So why I had you on here.
When we talked that, a couple of years ago, and I explained to you, you got interested in that day because I gave you a little bit of the version of the creation. You kind of like look back and you just.
I did, because I observe everything.
Right.
Like when people tell me stuff, and I didn't. When I met you, I didn't have the show.
No.
I didn't. It was genuinely. I had just gone through some crazy times.
Right.
And I met you, and we'll talk about it, because this, I had just gotten done with a little battle of cancer, and I was just getting myself outside,
Right.
And I remember thinking, well, this guy is either the craziest man I ever met, I'll tell you,
right, or
like genuinely a person that feels deeply, because the things that you're making it's nostalgic, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it feeds somebody, some purpose, right? So, yeah, that's really why. And I kept you in the back of my head. We've seen each other a million times. But it was something like that where I was like, okay, this feels authentic, not fake or not for...
It's not fake. It's what you just mentioned just now. You say, I call it the C. You call it the... I try not to use that. You know what I'm saying?
But you had your own battle.
I had my own battle.
Okay. You care to share a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, please. It's sensitive because I understand.
It is, I'm not going to get emotional to it, you know what I'm saying? I just want people out there that is going through it. It doesn't have to be sickness. It could be depression, anxiety,
anything.
Anything
is a disease if it's debilitating.
Oh, yeah. And, but my struggle was that 5 years ago, probably about 5 years, I got the surprise, news.
The big C.
Yeah, the big C, because I'm not going to call, shout it out. But that was that day when I got that news from the doctor, it just blew the wind out of me. It blew it out of me. And at that time, when that happened, I was going through a divorce.
So it's...
you know what I'm saying?
So... It was a lot more similar than you understand. But
it was pretty rough. I was going through a divorce. You know what I'm saying? And I found that by myself, and I'm like, wow. It's the kid's mother. And everything. I was like, wow, I got this sickness. And I just kind of I felt that I felt that I didn't have nothing to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And I was speaking with God, and I would question God. You know what I'm saying? I would question him. It's like, but why me? You know what I'm saying? And that kept on going. After that first year that I kind of accepted it, I spoke with God, and I used to hear whisper. My mom says, you gifted, Junior. My mom siempre lo dice. And I say, I'm gifted. I can feel, see, I'm surrounded with, with angels. You know what I'm saying? I got angels around me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I wasn't told that. I always felt that.
Yeah.
Right?
You can be with somebody that you can actually feel. You know, it could be a past
An
family
energy,
member
yeah.
or energy, but it's there. And then in the first year into that, I decided to pick up my first.
Show me. Come on. We'll move these. Or
This
you
was-
want to switch?
yeah.
Put this back.
This
Okay.
was my first. This was my first trash can that I
Okay.
did on that first year of that struggle. That I kind of like did it. You know what I'm saying? This was a moving for me. Like I nearly just said, I accomplished everything right, but what I need to drop inside.
Okay.
So I started making bad days, you know, little bags like this and dropping all my weight. You know, the bigger the trash, the bigger the hurt it. I drop, close. You know what I'm saying?
That's why, because I was gonna ask you why the trash can, but it makes sense. Like, oh, I'm taking everything from.
Taking
and throw- okay.
everything
All right,
and put it in
I'm
there.
gonna respect that because
you know,
yeah, at first I didn't not that I didn't understand because I don't know, right? So I was like, oh, okay, a trash can, but it makes sense.
yeah,
It makes sense.
you
Can I
know,
look in here? Did you throw anything else? In
I threw so much paper in there. This paper's here from a couple years ago. Let's see what's in there. Let me just see what's in here. I'm gonna share this with everybody. All right, this was in Keep Fighting for Your Life and Keep Going. Right? That would be a day.
Can I ask you something? Why is that in the trash?
Because this was a reminder for me. The day that I was feeling so terrible, I would kind of grab it and put it in there. Y un recuerdo, right?
Oof.
I grab another one here. This one says, rest in peace, right? Friends of mine, keep going. It hurted me, but I still bring a legacy to them. Bringing their name, putting their name and their stuff on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It just keep going.
It makes sense to me. I just, jeez, man.
It's
Why are you trying to kill me today?
this one was medication. This is an interesting one. Oh yes, look at this. Man, gave me goosebumps. See, that's what I'm talking about. Look. Dated 4/3/21. Okay? Medication for cure, cry. How much can I take? That was when I was taking radiation on the chemo on the pills, right?
I took the pills too.
That was, I would feel nauseous, and you know, there was times that I was just like, I cry, I wouldn't eat, I went into a depression, I would start questioning, you know, and I'm like, I come from strong family,
and,
you know
and
what I'm saying? But
positivity,
yeah,
right? So because I never talked about this either. I'm a super positive person, and I did the struggle kind of quietly. I mean, if you didn't know me or my inner
didn't.
circle,
Yeah, you didn't.
nobody knew, right? But what it taught me is some of that. Jeez.
and
I didn't expect to even
No,
feel anything
it
from
is,
this, but
you know what I'm saying?
It is like a journey that nobody, unless you've gone through it, nobody can understand, right?
right.
But did you ever struggle with, like, you fought yourself half the time, where it's like, today I'm waking up, I'm not gonna feel sick, I'm just gonna keep walking, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do
Right.
that, and then by noon you're
Right.
like crying and completely
You know,
completely broken. But what do you think, like, let me put your trash back in your trash can. What do you think you got from creating this?
I got to meet a lot of great people, but not only great people, but their story and they struggled through them, because I would share my story with them and I would hear their side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we end up become friends. You know what I'm saying? Man, I really like what you just said. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of men and women out there that's struggling with depression. And right now, number one key right now is depression. It's taking people's life in an instant. Heart attacks, cancer, not focused on their right mind. You know, they don't think, you know, right? They end up doing something really stupid, you know?
Oh, I know.
So-
I have a family member that in the last couple of years
Yeah.
died by suicide. So yeah, I completely understand that. Let's move on to positivity.
Yeah.
Not that this isn't positive. It's important to know, like, what in art, everything's subjective. Sometimes people create art because it's like a beautiful thing. They're super happy.
Oh, yeah.
But most times it comes from healing and pain.
Right.
So move on. Oh, espérate. Show me this one. Talk about this one. Because this one I never seen before today.
This one here is the telephone booth.
Okay.
Right?
And it has my name on it.
Has your name on it, but I know that you sometimes I gave you a story. It was like, I hear you what you say, and whatever that you tell me, I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna use it as for feedback, right?
Better stop.
Stop it, te voy a hacerla llorar.
Okay.
So this phone booth, it's got your name all in there, just like the New York telephone, booth from the NYC.
Most people
But
might not know what a telephone booth is.
back there, because everybody's just with the cell
yes,
phone.
yes.
And that's what I'm trying to do. Keep the 1980 culture still going.
Okay.
But in the floor right here, it says, I don't know if you can kind of see it, it says, call God. So that means I gave you this so that when you're feeling depressed and you're feeling emotional, calling God is not to call him anything, but call him in your own time, in your own spare time. You watch that you're going to find yourself a peace and una tranquilidad. I'm telling you, you're going to...
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Why specifically you give... Because you're going to make me cry.
Gave you this because we share the most similar stories. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? When you click on somebody, it's like, wow, this is real. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's the realest. And I know a faker and a real. I know that.
I wish I could fake. Because sometimes they be living, delusional people live the best life sometimes, but I don't know how to live in that.
No, so
I lived in that. So why I think, gosh, well, I'm going to keep this.
That is a motivation for you.
And I need tissue. But he's not used to me crying. It's usually the other way around. But why
yo lloro. I get emotional.
Can you pass me tissue? We're gonna listen. We're live right there.
Excuse me.
We're super live, and I'm in a mess today. Thank you, Bob. All right. So this is real time, guys.
This is real time. This is what
and
it is.
that's why I know it's not fake. Why I say like damn for this is because I thought, or I think that I'd be fooling people. Like, I'm good. But sometimes people notice when I'm not good. So thank you for noticing that. I really appreciate this. So this is for me?
That's for you.
Okay. See, I got a June.
That's right.
Miniature creation.
That's right. Big
NYC.
June.
So talk about your... Well, we ain't Big Juning nothing. Let's cut that out. Because I'm not calling you Big June. And that's just real.
All right.
So what's your company name, please? And
Well...
Guys, I'm sorry.
Well,
it's
we're working on a website.
Okay.
And hopefully it stays active, So when my...
It will stay. It will stay active. We're going to speak it into existence.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
So it's called June NYC Creation.
You see? You got a whole company.
So that's what we're going to try to sell most of all my artwork. But those artworks, it's just not done because I did it, because I wanted to be a good... No, there's a story to each of those artworks.
Show me La Bodega. Let's talk about
Bodega,
that
man.
bit.
La Bodega.
I love this so much. Just because, I saw it, and I just saw it for the first time today. And I thought, okay, so the Bronx. I thought Brooklyn in the corner store, but really La Bodega for me, because my dad is the BX. Even though there were in Brooklyn a million of them, but it gave me my dad getting an OE. If you know, you know.
Yes.
If you know, you know, right?
Oh, yes.
So my dad was big on, it was a terrible malt liquor OE.
The old English. Oh, man, I remember that.
Yeah, so he would go pick one up in the brown paper bag.
In the brown paper bag.
And we'd just be walking to the park as he drank. Really, you could only do that in the 80s and 90s.
Only.
Because who does that? He was I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting emotional, but my dad was the kindest man I've ever known. So this reminds me of him.
No, it brings a story.
Why'd you create this?
I did this to kind of bring that culture back again to Okay, the bodegas right now is not like it used to be back then. They changed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That this is, New York has changes with the new generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just keep everything 1984 hip hop.
Okay.
Still keep that culture. Everybody say, yeah, but why are you doing it? Because I give you a sample.
Do you think that, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you think that culture gave, or just that era gave people something more than this culture can? Tell the truth.
I mean, the hip hop culture back then, okay, compare the culture that is now. Back in the days, and I told you this millions of times. Back in the days when we had beef, we used to be like, "What? So you wanna fight right here?"
I didn't have beef back in the day.
And then all of a sudden, but back in the days was like, "All right, so we gonna battle." And everybody break dance.
Did you dance?
I used to dance. I used to break dance.
I could see that.
Well, not as much
as
pretending.
I'd be pretending I still can, but I never.
Oh no. I used to love that, that culture, but it was not something that I got into it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I did it in my childhood.
So when there was beef, y'all danced.
There was beef.
Okay.
Everybody used to.
Okay.
There was no back thens of taking somebody's life. Everybody battle and then bam. Okay. I won this fight. Okay, and then they end up back. Now in these days.
On a positive note, you think?
Yes, it was. Okay. It was positive because back then was art, subway train, T-shirts. There was always somebody, a graffiti, a person that would write their name for a legacy. Yeah. Okay. Point blank.
I grew up. I was born in the 80s. Grew up 80s, 90s. I guess I could agree. It's just, I was in the culture of probably hip hop with a little bit of like the salseros of the, the old school New York.
Yeah.
So that was more my upbringing.
Right.
I wasn't beatboxing. Even though I loved it, I always had a fascination with, like, you would go to the skating rink and then people would start breakdancing.
Oh, Skate Key was one of,
I actually been to Skate Key.
Yeah,
to Skate Key.
Yeah, Skate Key is the place. I need to recreate that one.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I did White Castle.
Listen, and you're going to do something for my podcast.
Yes.
We already talked about this.
We got to do it. We're going to get it.
It's going to happen. Right?
But it's meaning. It's a lot of meaning into it. You know what I'm saying? And when I was building this one here, I was emotional. I was going through personal stuff.
Because it's always about something.
And you know what made me feel good when I got it done? Mm-hmm. That I said, what? Man, I did it. I gave a big pound in my back. I said, yo, good job, Junior. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think you've made yourself proud?
Yes.
Damn,
I'm proud. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Because there's nothing wrong with being proud.
No, I'm very proud of what I accomplished. If God was to call me right now, I'm going to say, I live my life. I'm proud. Okay. I'm good. I'm blessed. And I leave a legacy.
So what do you feel like you leave behind?
I live memories.
Okay.
I live my creation. But the most important thing is I won't feel anything anyway, because no one, when you're gone, you don't feel nothing. You laughing and loving.
You're not in pain, I hope. I hope.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah.
But that's all, who we hurt? We hurt the family that we leave behind. They suffer more.
So can I tell you this? Because I think I talked about this on some podcast at some point. I talk about everything. But mi abuela, it was mommy. It was never abuela. But what she did in her death is what I want to get to that point where she was knowingly dying, and it was kind of quick. Like, it was like diagnosed dying within, it felt like a week. But anyway, she was so cool with death that even though we were sad to see her go, I was so proud. Like, I was so at peace.
Right.
And so that I want to die in the form of leaving in peace, because I know I did something good with my life, right?
Right.
So I feel you on that, because that's like, I think my ultimate goal is when it is time, because we never know.
Right.
Even if it was a sudden death for me, I want to know that I left something better. Like, I left somebody better. a moment better, a memory better than it could have been, right?
Right.
So do you feel like that's what you want?
Yes. I actually want to... It's kind of rough, I don't really like to talk that, the
You
topic.
don't have to right
no,
now.
I know that, but I mean, that topic is... All right, I'm going to give it to you like this.
Okay.
All right? And I tell this to some of my coworkers, okay? I got 2 good friends on it, and they know. And exactly what I'm going to say. And I don't care. I'm 55 years old. I'm proud. 55 years old, right? Okay.
Proud, yes.
I don't look at, like, guys... There's a number that I want to get to. And I tell this always to my mother. I said, ¿Tú sabes qué, mami? Yo quiero llegar a 100. She said, yo sé, mijo.
But
right?
100
100.
in good health.
I'm going to tell you how. Okay. I'm going
Go
to tell you.
ahead,
Right?
go
The secret
ahead.
is this. I already lived 55 years, all right? I did 55. Now, I take that 5 away and I put the 50 back away, right? Now I start with my 5 years old. I'm considering myself as I'm 5 right now.
I can't stand you.
I'm dead serious.
So you're 5, okay.
I'm 5 right now. I got 45 more years to go.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
By you keeping that energy and you keeping that mentality, when you speak bad words,
Oh, of course.
you're bringing
speak it
back
into existence.
Oh yeah, you bring it on.
I know that. Yeah.
And and this is why I kind of say that I fought my sickness. I did all this. It was through cry, joy, eating healthy, not taking so much medication.
So,
I
yeah.
focus on different
I agree with
stuff.
that.
So I kind of pushed out where I kind of cure myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But not only that, my mother trayéndome la sopita de gallita, and I gotta love her for that.
Where's your mother now?
She's here.
She's here in Florida?
She
So,
lives
mommy,
here.
where's my sopita? I haven't had that
Yeah.
since my own mommy.
Yeah, she was a real, supporter, just bringing healthy, comete esto, and those are things that I'm very grateful. I am very grateful. But to keep going, it's a struggle. Right now, to this day, it's a little struggle. But one thing that I learned is I'm not going to let anybody. If you kind of want to piss me off and get me mad, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go like this to you. Look. I'm going to walk away. I'm dead serious.
So, same. I fight a little for people I love. I ain't gonna lie. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best.
Yeah, you got to just focus on you. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm not a focus on me person, and that's what I'm working on. But I'm definitely, everybody has a limit, right? Yeah.
You have to focus on yourself.
Okay.
Okay, you
Sir,
definitely gotta focus because there was a time.
Tips on how to live from Big. I can't call you that. We ain't
June.
calling you June.
June.
What your mom call you?
Junjo.
Junjo. I could do Junjo.
See,
But
mommy
Big
is
June,
Junjo.
I
Today
refuse.
Junjo.
I refuse.
But what I want you, you're a joker. What I want you to do is focus on yourself because I've been
tips
there.
on how to live.
No, it's not that. It's try to find yourself, right?
Oh,
I used
know
to be
who
I used to be
Yeah.
angry. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm talking
Same.
realistic.
So
I
let's
used to
talk
be-
about that. I'm sorry to cut you off because there was a period of my younger years, not necessarily from the cancer. The cancer made me soft. The cancer made me softer. I forgave more. I encouraged more. I gave
Right.
more. But you know why? It's because I knew that life is not guaranteed.
Exacto. Yeah.
Right? When I was younger, I was tough. I was stronger. I was rougher because I had to. That's what I needed to be to survive whatever I was going through as a childhood. So when you were angry, it was after the cancer or just you went through cancer? And I said the C word,
Yeah.
and you went, divorce. All of that plays a part.
It kind of played it on it. There's men or women that goes through those things and they can't accept it and they go berserk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when
I
you
know.
carry so much work,
I know people.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you're carrying so much of that,
It's the weight of the world on your shoulders.
yeah, it's you know what I'm saying. You have to control it. But even my sister, my twin sister, and I love her,
twin.
but she used to tell me too, June,
Don't be soft or don't be strong.
you got this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I feel pain, right? She feels pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
always
saying?
wondered about that with twins.
Yeah.
right?
So,
Yeah.
that's part of, just motivation to, with her because I used to, it's in my blood. You know what I'm saying? I had to, okay, I can't go nowhere because if I go somewhere, I'm leaving. We came together in the same womb. I want to be able that one day that me and her, we leave exactly at the same time when it's God calls us. because we came in together this world. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. This is no other way to say it.
Really.
You know what I'm saying? So I do love you, my sis. All right.
Shout out to her. I want to ask you, and before we wrap up and stuff, and before I want you to tell people where they can find you, what is the point of you being on here? What is the true legacy that you want to leave behind? What
the true legacy that I want to do behind that? Those who's going through a struggle, deep inside, you as a person have something inside that you may not know it, that you have it, but you gotta push it out, because me pushing these things out and making, creations, it comes out of your heart. When you put something in so much into your heart, man, I'm telling you, you could conquer the world. You could conquer the world. You could conquer the world. You could conquer friends. You know what I'm saying? You meet good people that's positive. And that's what I'm living right now.
It's beyond, so a lot of people, why do you want to do this? And why do you do this? And it's beyond just the act of creating something. It's what it makes people feel. It's invoking feeling into somebody. I feel like the world doesn't feel enough. Like we're taught to not show what we're feeling. Right. We're taught to shut up. We're taught to mute ourselves.
Right.
But this is giving a voice to whatever your pain and other people's pains are. For real quick, before I want to bring the other stuff that we haven't showed, so that you can tell people where they can find you and where they can find your art, because now you're working on a website and a whole company, and I'm really proud of you for that. So
this is
it looks like a little city when you put it like this, right?
Like a little city. This one, you look at this, the first ice box that the doors open. But look, it gets good. Ready?
Did you use the ice, Tito?
El ice.
El ice. You so Puerto Rican. Where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at June29399, and also on TikTok. But I prefer Instagram because that's all my creations is loaded there. Okay. So I'm advertising more there, the website, which is June NYC Creation. Okay. That's where we're going to be taking it to the next level.
And if somebody wanted to purchase, they can just DM you?
They can DM me. And you know what? And funny that you just said this. There's a lot of people hitting me, not on this one, but the two that I showed you, okay? Okay. All right. They are crazy. And I got one that wants me to go to his barbershop. He wants to recreate that front. That's so cool. So that is what keeps me going. I'm looking forward, to meet this person. Okay, and I'm going. I'm keep going. Why not? Just what it is.
I thank you because you listen. You're probably one of the few that have made me cry, and I haven't made them cry. Few. But you reminded me about myself today, so I appreciate that. Yeah. Please, guys, go follow June29399. I'll go ahead and also add your tag, to this episode. Thank you, June.
No, thank you, man, for putting me down.
That's what it is. Right? Fiesta. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm Aspire J, and this is Aspire Podcast.
That's it.
Bye.
Peace. Thank you.
I've got a story. Real talk, real people, real conversation. We